create a video, but there is a woman slams airline for calling her Miss instead of doctor. This was not about my ego, she says. It is about Quantas, and I just want to show, to say like what type of experience I had with Hawaiian Airlines, and I had actually excellent experience with Quantas. They were decent, nothing special. That is some type of service that I'm always like used to get from every like airlines, because I traveled a lot. For example, just in 2016 I was like 4 times coming from United States to Europe just to find help for my like this nanotechnology that I was secretly implanted with during the surgery, and was horrible abused. And what happened like in 2015, before I had surgery, at the beginning of 2015, I wanted to run like a half marathon. This is like Blackmore Festival in Sydney, and I also wanted to go far away, you know, from United States, to check if I leave United States, would I be having these nightmares and these problems with sleeping when I had like a people interrogating me, torturing me, and doing everything possible, like attacking my head like with such a high level frequencies that I ended having like a one bedroom apartment, like a sleeping under the kitchen table. Like there were kitchen table, and I would be sleeping there. I would be dragging like my futon and sleeping there, and I still was able, because I was implanted already during the surgery with nanotechnology 2007, but it never crossed my mind that I would be implanted, you know, which is like I had like these problems that people would be talking to me during the night. I had huge problems like 2007. I had to escape to Europe just to recover. I created therapy for myself, you know, just like eating, exercising. I would be running, I would be falling, but I would be running, because I used to be a runner. I would run like every day, like 6 miles, and I would be was able to sing practically. I wasn't that fast, but I had endurance. I was in top form all the time, and I decided to go like to try like a half marathon, because I know that I could run it. I would run like a treadmill like 12 miles, and I was sure that I could do it. And my kitty that I had, like I took like 3 kitties that that I found like outside of the apartment. Someone put them outside, and I took them all. And one kitty of 14 years, I love her so much. This is like I was dying, and just was dead, and I prepared for the burial, and I had to go to Sacramento from Oakland to bury the kitty. And I wanted to do, and before that I was crying, you know, the day before, and I had like a car accident. I totaled the car, because I remember like my kitty, and started to cry, and I hit like I hurt like my lungs. But I decided still to go to Australia, and just not to think about my kitty and so on. I was really sad. And what happened, I just wanted to check online, you know, and I always had like a good experience. I mean, usually good experience with like airlines. That is nothing special. Like just like you go there, everybody's decent with you, you're decent with everyone. That's it. Now I wanted to, and I actually scheduled, I bought a ticket in January 2015, and I bought like a pad, maybe 150 or 160, maybe even more, for extra leg space. You know, this is like the seat in Hawaiian Airlines that you get between like business class and economy class. It's a bit different than when you buy like exit seat. Even much better. And I should be going like first to Honolulu, and then I should be like going to Sydney. And I just want to check, like online check, you know, usual. And I came there is nothing. I called them, and they said, oh no, you are flying now not from Auckland but from San Jose. If I hadn't like tried to check online, I would be missing flight. That was very strange. And I said, no, you have to do something. But in any case, I lost like this reservation. They couldn't like make reservation, you know, extra space and so on. What was happening when I came? I said like someone spread rumors that I was crazy. You know, I never had like any psychiatric records. Did I ever go to psychiatrist, nor did I ever take like a medicine, you know. Even when I was like feeling extremely bad, I took high level doses of vitamins, and that was like a great help. And what happened? I had like the guy near me sitting, and he was like he looked to me rather as someone who would be like a doctor, a physician or something. He was hitting his head all the time. He was talking with himself. He was like making these gestures as schizophrenic person. I was sitting quietly near him. I didn't say absolutely anything. He was clean. He was tall. He was like looking like as an intellectual, you know, rather than as someone who was schizophrenic. In any case, okay, I came to Honolulu and I got then my reserved like a place on the plane. Now what is happening like at some later point, when I was going back, I was trying actually to reschedule. I found like I couldn't run a half marathon, because I was feeling like really rather like bad, because I had like a pain in my chest and because of the accident. And I said, okay, I'm not going to stay like here. I went to Cairns and I noticed, no, I am sleeping well, you know, I could sleep well. It is not that I had these problems. I felt like full of energy and so on. And I decided, okay, I'm not going to stay in Australia like 3 weeks as I planned. And I was trying like to reach Hawaiian Airlines to reschedule the flight. I couldn't do this online, so I was trying to reach them. And they say like you can just like use phone. I had to call like United States or so on. And I didn't have like a cell phone, you know, just like that would be like having roaming capability. So I didn't need cell phone. Why should I be needs of cell phone? So I wrote and wrote and wrote, and I stayed in Melbourne like a longer time, because I changed like 3 hotels there. And I noticed, okay, I wouldn't be able like to reschedule, so okay, let's stay like 3 weeks. And I went to Tasmania and so on, to Hobart, and I came back and I scheduled again, like I bought again, like I went online, and they say like there is no capability for me again to check online. I bought like extra space again, like extra, like paying like 150 or so. That went without any problem. I came like a bit earlier to the airport, Sydney airport, and I immediately went to this like attendants there. I said, you know what? I was trying to reach you and I couldn't like check online. Sometimes something might be wrong, you know. And they said to me, no, go there in the line and wait with all other people. They looked at my like a ticket, said, go there and wait with other people. Okay, I went like in the line and I waited with other people. I just came, like I waited maybe 20 minutes. I just came like it was my turn and I was last person in the line. And the person closed like the counter and left. And there is now another line. And I said, okay, good. Well, I mean, I was waiting in this line and people are waiting in that line. So I waited for the person to finish like the job, that they finish like a check-in for that person. And of course, I went like to another counter, but the person she closed the counter just in front of me. I was the only person there. And that like a person there from Hawaii said to me, no, you cannot do this. Now go back at the end of this line too. And what could I do? I went back on the end of this line. Now I was like pretty much like the last person there. Maybe like 2 people came, or 3 people or so on. Actually, I wanted to come even earlier, but you know what, like a taxi, I scheduled like this bus, you know, that's coming to the hotel, and it came later and so on. But I was like early enough for them to check on my like a ticket. Now it came my turn and she was looking. She said, oh, we don't have ticket, like you don't have ticket number. There is no place for you on the plane. But I said, how cannot be like a place on my plane? But you had like a take like reservation for the extra space from me, like $150 or so on. And I had the same from Honolulu to Auckland. And she went to these 2 ladies, whom I asked and told like that something is wrong with my ticket, and they were looking, said, no, we don't have like a. I said, I told you when I came here. Why did you like look? Nobody is there. It's just me staying now there. And they told me following: you go there and sit and do not open your mouth. Otherwise, we are going to call security. And I went and sat there, and I see there is nothing. And I came there to the counter and I said, do you have like ticket? Stay there where you are. We are going to call security. I say, call security. Because you know what? I had the feeling that I was surrounded by the Nazis. And I said, call security. And they really called security. and security came, police, like, I don't know, like airport police. And I don't know what they told her, but I told him immediately, like, you know what? I mean, I don't have the ticket. And I scheduled the ticket, and I went here, and I did everything properly. And that is not the way that they tell me, like, you sit there because they did mistake. And this police said to me, be happy that you are ending this way, kind of. They could even have arrested me. They said to me, like, you should write to the executive, like, of Hawaiian Airlines, and then complain when you come back. There is no ticket for me. And they told me following, like, come tomorrow, we will be having a place for you. Imagine that part. And it was rainy. I mean, it was spring in event in September. That was like a spring in Sydney, and I was having flip-flops, preparing for the United States, and I know for California. And what I did do, I immediately went, there is a kiosk with internet, on Sydney airport, and I checked for another airline, and I found Quantas. And I bought another ticket. What could I do? And then I checked for the hotel, took taxi, and went to another hotel, and found a hotel, and I did overnight there. Next day I'm coming. Why I'm telling this, actually? Because these people who torture me during the night, they hypnotize me into smiling, and they probably were thinking that when I am smiling, I'm kind of Manchurian, I don't know that I'm smiling, but that was never the case. Whenever I was smiling, I knew that I was smiling. That is unusual, and that is a kind of crazy. People see someone smiling, without any sense, it will think that is crazy. Why is that happening? Because during the night, when they're torturing me, they are hitting me with these frequencies that would make me smile, put me in smiling state. I was once in bed. How they do make me a smile? My body is full of biosensors, nanoradios. They hit here this part of my mouth with these specific frequencies. I have here popping my in the evening, sometimes when I'm in bed, this my lips are popping. Why? Because they are full of biosensors. They're popping, and my lips will be going up. And at that point, someone tried to make me have sex, kind of, sexually excite me. They can do this all through the frequencies, because I say, as Einstein said, we are just energy oscillating at the cellular level. This is this aura that we have, a Kirlian photography can show, that we all have auras. We have all these sheets that we get, yoga, Raja Yoga saying this, we inhale this prana. I mean, all you have this science in the Christian religion with these auras and so on. That is nothing new, And they attacked me, and I came to the airport. And I felt a smiling, this. And I saw this Hawaiian there, and I just continued to go to Quantas. And I had a pleasant, quiet, normal, pleasant flight with Quantas. I had even insurance. I paid Alliance insurance. I don't know, maybe $150 extra in the case that something happens, with your flight. So you can request a refund. You think I would be getting anything from them? I never got a cent. Not even for this extra space that I paid, just a extra ticket, $150. Not for this that they removed this extra space that I paid that I lost because they changed my flight to come from San Jose. And I did write to Better Business Bureau, and I noticed some people would be having a bad experience also with Hawaiian. I mean, everybody has at some point maybe some bad experience. I'm not saying this. I would even think, that it's just happening. It can happen that you have a bad experience, except for this smiling when I came there to Sydney airport next day. And for this effort, someone to sexually excite me, because they would keep me obedient through sexual abuse during the night. I think they do teleportation. I just did talk a lot about this, and it is coming from Auckland. Hawaiian Airlines has a headquarters in Auckland, in United States, I think so. And I had a hugely bad experience when I came to Auckland, when I moved to Auckland, and I had to move to Auckland. Why? Because I have the dog that I brought from Europe, and After being there 11 years at this like a property in Sunnyvale, I was called by one woman, again, a Russian Jew, and she told me, you have 3 days, either remove your dog or you have to move out from this apartment. And of course I couldn't give up on my dog, so I had so much cash and I bought like apartment in Oakland. So that is the reason why I came to Oakland. First night I came to Oakland, my dog used to sleep with me in bed. She peed in bed that night from some being scared, and she stopped sleeping with me. And I was hit like so much with frequencies that I wrote, like I had a journal, like online journal, and I wrote that I was like in with military in combat. That is when military started to work on me. And why? What did I do before? I did before following. I stumbled upon like an article on Yahoo about Bruce Bodaken being paid $5 million. Wow. I was astonished. I mean, I work with those people. I know how much they are worth. Nobody in Blue Shield is worth $5 million. Nobody in Blue Shield is worth more than $300,000 to $500,000. I know those people. And now, oh, yeah. But they are non-profit. I was working for $55,000. I was working for 2 analysts, senior analysts. They wanted me even to work more because they say economics basic principle is you can earn profit only if you are exploiting machines or people. What are the machines that you see in Blue Shield? None. And Paul Markovich amassed $4 billion in reserves. And what he's saying, I would be fired if I wouldn't be having this all money, you know. It is all about him. He would be fired. Imagine this. So he needs to exploit everyone, you know. And I said, because this happened, like all this abuse that I was exposed to happened when I wrote like a email to Blue Shield, to actually Paul Markovich, first to human resources, then to Paul Markovich, saying, please don't send this maliciously written evaluation because of which I resigned to other employers. And then abuse started. And I said at that point, wow, he was maintaining me all the time, so that I don't like do anything, don't write anyone about this fact that this is not like a, I had like a, there was investigation, and interestingly enough later CMO, Chief Medical Officer, was like Meredith Matthews in Life Masters. He investigated. I complained about the fact that people would bully me in Life Master based on the evaluation that was sent like to that company from Blue Shield. And he just investigated. He said to me, but that is against the law. They cannot do this. Like a Blue Shield will never do this. And it is true. That was sent private way. And I wrote a letter. I was a Jackson, like working in human resources, like as vice president or so on. And I wrote a letter. I said, I'm going to send her a letter, you know, to explain to her what actually happened. But I had like to flee to Europe. I spent several years like being there, just trying to recover for this abuse. I didn't have any idea that Paul Markovich handed me to military for creation of military robot. Oh my gosh! But who would think so? Who would think that this something exists in this world? And my husband came and told me following: you don't understand, these people are dangerous, they can kill you. How would he know this? I don't have any idea. We never talked about this, except that I told him 2007 like about Paul Markovich, and Paul Markovich everywhere, you know. And I could talk with Paul Markovich during the night. Of course, I can talk if I have like nano radios everywhere in my head. And that was the point. 3 days later, and my husband wanted to leave. I said, like, would you like to go to Europe? You know, he didn't work at that point. Like, he also didn't have the job, and I didn't have the job, but we have always the savings. And he said, like, no, I don't want, like, you know, so on. And he suddenly wanted to go to Europe. I said, how long would you like to go to Europe? Because I schedule, like, always the flights. And would you like to go 1 month? And he said, okay, he would be going 1 month. 3 days later, I got eviction notice from Russian Jew, from the management office in property where I lived for 11 years. Left to Oakland, military started heavily to experiment on me. And I'm just like, I just remember today, like this woman who is claiming, okay, she might be having, I'm not judgmental in this case. I mean, I'm annoyed with these people who claim always doctor and doctor and doctor. I mean, but then again, like that is their right, you know. I never call any one doctor except like for medical doctor. And so it is the story. It's the story really about abuse. Now this 2015 I started a Better Business Bureau, and I started also to complain about Alliance, like this insurance. They didn't want to pay me anything, but I said it was not my fault that I had to miss the flight. I did everything properly, everything. And they didn't want to pay me anything. They did, like, I had like a surgery that year. After the surgery, they did hit me so, you know. I didn't have energy for 2 years to write anything. I never got any type of the refund from Hawaiian Airlines nor Alliance. And this is the story. I mean, this is a story about this fantastic abuse, you know. You are like these like CEOs. I just read like several days ago that was on Yahoo, Elon Musk. Elon Musk, if someone is writing on Twitter something bad about company, he's chasing these people. He's calling other executives, other CEOs in the companies, and asking about identity of these people. Imagine, who are writing like a badly about his company and his products. And that was like a case about Volkswagen. The guy said, well, yes, this person is working for Volkswagen, or he's a brother. You know, they identified the person. And that person could be losing the job just because Elon Musk is powerful and he can call another CEO and say, hey, I don't like that guy like talking bad about my products. I mean, this work is insane, honestly. Absolutely insane. I would say, like, I don't know, maybe I don't understand this world. It could be this way.